I speak to thy rock, thy image appears, and there is no other way to explain it. It looks like a clothes hanger, or yet and still a duck. I giveth. I giveth only, and I bless it all that I do. I am of thy man, and thy man I am all thy man. I am not the alien in which that appears there. In thy rock face I giveth no way of my wrath, nor do I take it that way. I am only the he, it, I be that of one with no 911 who has to be called because of an emergency that giveth. No time, no way to explain it, but that is thy way, thy rock. I rock away. I rock thy way because I am aware of how the rock ways and sways and ways, the rock aways, the rock away, the ways of ways in which the way of rock away foundation, thy foundation, gave me the rock in which I call upon to speak, that in which is in every land, in every place, in every nation stands, and no way to ever mistake it. It is the way in which I speak it. I speak it because I am the rock in which I rock my way by day. I am thy foundation, and I am the foundation. Therefore, Nathan, and the foundation of Nathan comes me to allow my rock to speak only for them. Because I rock by you. I only speak to George and Nathaniel Powell. He is the rock of my foundation. He is the devoted in which I rock my become. No way of place. But I will dry thyself thy rock because he is the only one who is in that moment to dry thy rock thy way as to bring forth thy rock thy way thy rock as thy warrior like I seek thy rock. I look into the eye and I seek that same one that prays thy way thy rock thy bird that talk that bird that lurks is thy rock away. I can only see the duck there now appearing to manifest unto thyself the X in which they give I rock away. I make no mistakes. Then begin. There is no more, no less than the execution. We was Exodus and which it became the part in which it became the levity in which the lark and shark in which it became only that in which that I give. There is no more time and but of time that I give. We give no more, but you to understand that yes, we are the one in which they give all things, I mean all hands in which the present, thy king, thy be. Thy king of all kings, thy king, thy be. Thy king of the king of kings, because the kings of all kings is king. King is the king of which kings, king of kings. And the king of king is the kings of kings of kings. The king of kings, all kings are king of things. And when you can king all king things, the king of all kings comes the kings, king with kings, things like the kings, things like the king rings and things, rings which they observe, yes, that only understand the king's ring will come up, and the king's ring of that level, in the eye in which the holy of the king of kings, eye of the ring in which the ring of which eye of his rings is the only ring in which the king of the ring, the king of his things, the rings, the king rings, king thing rings, and ring things, the king's ring, all things of the ring of things, the king rings of things, and the king rings of things, the Pisces, the Theseos and Dostosis, the rings of kings, the things, the rings of kings, will appear right in front of thy ring of kings and things and things. As I speak it, I shall call it upon thy name. Come out, thy ring, thy king, thy king, thy king, thy ring, thy be thy king today. He is the king of all kings, king. Because of the king, he became a king. He became all king because the king of king, came out and spoke upon thy king, thy ring, thy king, thy ring, thy king, because I am the king of king. As I look into the eyes, as the eyes now behold thy truth in which thou art born and alien thy king, thy alien things in which thy king and thy alien be. Like all things, all king, thy king, all alien, thy king, thy be. All thing, thy king, thy be is because all alien king, thy be. It is all foreign, all things are domestic of the king, thy be. He is the king, he is the only king, in which thy king, thy be. All things that are foreign, alien, and domestic are just in which thy king, thy be. There is no more nor less thy king, thy be. Thy king, thy be. I am the one in which they call the Lamb of God, and then the Lamb of God I came, I be. I am the King of Lamb and Lamb of King of the King, the Lamb I be. There is nothing more than the Arabic language than that I King, I be. After some boom, the Gopanyama, there was a ring, there was a bar. I King, I be, as he speaks unto itself, and gives his melody of his name. You know the scorpion and that in which they deals its purple intentions. It's only that in which one strikes not, and now it is a 19, a place in which and now more hate and then more to relate, not the hatred in which they give, but for answers in which that lay, I give it all that to thy king, thy king, thy king, thy king, thy king. It was that in which came of what was, now is, I manifest all those things, thy king, I be, thy king, thy king, thy king, the king, king, king of kings, all king, kings, the kings of things, and the king of kings of things, and the kings of things of things, and the kings that reign of man, and the things of which are discovered. No more shall I have a root, shall I always have them to be anointed unto me, unto you, unto it, unto thee. Proper place until the king of all kings receives it and manifests that answer today. I am blessed, I give it all thy way to thy king, thy king, thy king, thy king, thy king, thy king. There's a king of king thyself, thy king thyself, thy king of king. I king myself, the king of king, the king of king, the king, 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 is the king of all king, and the king of all king is the king, 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 king of Congo, king of journey, king of everything that is the king, 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 including the animals in which it manifests like the king of the lion that is sitting there looking at you so sad and waits for you, the king of the kingdom of God's kingdom. He is the king of which sits at the top, not the bottom, and never has to wait because he goes out for himself or that is for him that is given. He sends no one that choose to honor thy king without ever a way to be ever forgiven, because they are the kings and the faces of things in which are those in which you chose to go out without even seeking an answer for, because of that answer no way. Now these are the faces of the kings in which you become that day. You are the king because I say to you, are the king. These are the people in which they said will be the one as one place will stay. This is the zombie apocalypse. Those places will be no more of that disaster. It is only the places in which we are all human, all things, all life, all good, all love, always, and forevermore. We are the rock away, a rock aware, and a rock we do away of all ways in which they give away the foundations in which no more shall be from Nathan, George, Nathaniel. Now it is all to manifest for thee. He is only to be given that all due respect and all high, same gift, same skill, same reasons of all the rest who have been kings that set forth before, other than the fact in which he gave more time, more ways, more of his own money, more of his own charitable trust of what's left of us to be the Most High. He is the Most High because I say he's the Most High, because he's not Most High all time. He is Most High because we lifted him up and manifested all that from foundation, from the rock hook it goes to the top of his head, only that he is his father forth. Come and find me. He was the second. He was a king unto himself. And then the third king come with King Sada, which was there at the same time as King Powell, and then King George Powell III. Out of the Cleveland Clinic, surely was to be manifested, as they know who I am, and I can guarantee they know who you are. There is no coincidence, because by day, by night, the king and all the staff must know the security detail that is on highway to see another king is that day, as he was the king of King Powell. King Powell was the king of aviation, everything that was in air. He became that for himself because he was the king in which became the king of king of the king of Powell's, and the king of Powell family, the head and not the lead, but the tail of all, head of all, no tail. The truth, he was King Powell because of the success that he accomplished going along his way. When he took his ruler, a yardstick down 75 to measure each moment of his time from the king of king, he became appointed king of that highway, I-75 and all that in which I speak of that comes along thy way. He knows that it's truth, and that truth is because from the air he then chose to start playing Smoke and Bear's way. Smoke and Bear became the bear, which he smokes no way, because the Smoke and Bear became that way of good friends, good family. From the air he shot, he taught, manifested and licensed out, he gave. Truly, he became a king of king, because he then ordered and no more borders. There was a separation, no more separation when you are friends of the air, and that allows now to check that mile marker on channel number 9. It became 19 at one another time. He became Mike Checker number 9, that Mr. George Nathaniel Powell Jr. He was on there so sweet, he had his own handle that became so sweet that he began to speak out into the universes, and then they came to find him. They said, soon you will find a son that has the same handle as you. They said he will not even be able to realize it until it is all way too gone, that you have the ability to speak to the rocks, and then that rock away their foundation. That rock of foundation so strong, so sweet, that the music and tunes are just now returning back to him without so ever clear of who they have even been from, or where they even came from. But the eyes of the skies have told him so many times, yes, he's the one who has the luminarius of the eyes of all the rainbow. Not just a red, not just a green, not just a blue, but the entire band of spectrum wave frequencies of hertz that comes to see him is underdue. He's the one that is the creators of the ones in which they began with the color, for the color corrected of those in which they have the cities set on fire, lit up waiting for him to manifest his ways again to them, back and forth unto thee. I bless it that he takes all the lessons today and take it with him and manifest it all. This is the final post that I will give thy way until I become thy king, thy be. I king, thy be, of king, of king of all kings, thy be. Only one post is only to see the eyes of that in which the luminati or the luminous eyes of the eyes can see. They know exactly who it is, because now we have more spaceships and space travel things approaching onto the due accounts and affairs as they are arriving each moment, each day. As I can see all things, I am the all-seeing eye. I am Ra. Look at my description and you will see a Ra. I am Ra. I am Ra. I am rising Ra. I rise up unto him from the pyramids of the Egyptians, and yes, get that shit off the top of that hill over there unto his parents, grandparents, and parents' grandparents. I live it. I am over there because that mound is only for him to show the pyramid of the biggest pile of shit. They built that pyramid for the king, to honor thy king, as you will have them to manifest and remove it down to its forefathers of the sun watch Indian village of the sun gods. They built that pyramid over there, as you will see, for the largest heap of trash in the world that is accumulated from where it began. Now let it end. I pray that no one falls prey for no more days of slumber along his way, because I am here and I am already awakened myself unto thee, thy King Ra. I am the king that ride away. Our way are ones in the pyramid, where we drink the juice off thy slave as what we slave thy be. You remember the slave in which I make myself no more to thee. I am you to I it be thee. You are now I it be thee. For George and thine about I be it for you too. I will slave myself only to thy slave, in which they give thy whole life to unto thee. It is the word in which the use of it is so loose they're given, because the slave in which the gratitude in which appreciates its master gives only the slave in which the master is slave, his master, a slave master. Meaning that if it is not the slave that chooses the slave for that master, it is no master that slaves for any slave, because the master that slaves a slave is the master that slaves the slave master. And the slave master will kill over his slave master any time that the master is never approved of, never agreed with, and the slave then becomes more than just that of a friend, but a slave, but a friend, but a slave in which the owner wants to see the eyes in which the eyes are glowing back and come back to thy way, which the ways in which none of the wicked ways in which that became so profitable, in which the words were turned onto their heads. I prophesy, I seek that all of that of Naomi, and that of all the darkness of the black skin, and that in which is earning, because it is that in which that earns your living and a lifestyle that I give it. I pray that you will soon see Egyptians comes alive again, because once you post this in Egypt, it becomes a standing array of just which cannot stand to see an eye that I give it. I see an eye that it looks to me as it is now, or given a way of movement in which it's time for me to move away, because the rock is now that through with that I give it. I take no more lessons I give. I make it all clear, for this is the last final post for those in which you do know that are sitting there at the top at the World Bank statement level, meaning that the affairs of that statement that they have and they receive as share owners of the world's state's affair level of income is the where I need to sit my no more. It is where he is, because of what I said it would be, that of only he that cometh thy way. He takes it all because it is all his from the beginning to its end. It belongs to he. He is the rock of the Rockefeller, of the Rockefeller and the foundation. And please do not allow for it to rock away. It's no more ever clear. I will be no more of that clear, because it became so obvious when it was the water in which it chose to relax itself instead of coming up from underneath he and taking it away from all those responsible for leaving him stranded in the first place. He knows, they know who they are, and once they find the water and the right water table of what has here 1.5 trillion gallons of fresh water aquifer is sounding about what I earn daily or momentarily as just I sit as I speak. It is 1.5 trillion gallons of reasons of why I choose and chose to protect it in the first place, meaning that it sits up underneath my foot, and foot it shall rise if it does not find its way into the hands in which they give it. I bless it, I give it, now I take it, all that away. You have no way of understanding what that I give it. I give 1.5 trillion days of ways of wonder, how it became such a worried world, with no wonder, because of the amount of greed in which they give it. I set one rock there on fire to sit down upon thee and speak upon thy ways in which are not the weird ways, but of the blessed ways in which they give it. Only the ways in which they give it. Allow for he to understand it in its entirety, that we bless only that in which they give thy ways not to he. It be thee. The only one who said he'll take his hand and he will write down each way to process that number and how he would earn thy way. Today would be the day he sits down and shows you where that $1.5 trillion a day would go for the rest of his life and forevermore. And he will allow you to see that manifest as the paperwork cometh. I do it. I will photograph it and find its way up onto this spinal database in which I give it. No way, no more, because y'all have done everything that he said is of truth completely backwards from the ways in which he has set it up and already have manifested onto his thyself. Every bit of what is the way in which you're trying to have artificial intelligence, I am myself it for thee. Truly, true intelligence left with no Bixby. Bixby is only that in which belongs to one company, but I have my own deliberate mistakes of making no mistakes because of what I choose and what I speak. Bixby is the only company or only place in which allowed for the world to be its absolute developer, meaning that they allow the whole entire world to suggest updates and allow for this updates to then make the changes on the device as we speak. I will speak to these companies once I'm uplifted to the proper place, but prepare no more. I bless it, I give it, and yes, every bit of the way that you have your artificial intelligence, as far as the databases are set up, is absolutely overcumbersome and just backwards. Forward, they will not be going for my company or my corporation. They are absolutely a waste of so much space and data that I have so much time that I have ditties of itty bitty dot dits that are so small that you can stuff your entire database, just like the Alphabet company, but theirs is even too large for me to even consume its thought.
that I can put one thumb drive and I can take your whole entire database and place it on one file on one drive. That is how small I'm talking about for all of your storage that you have on every server in the world. This is the diddy.diddy.diddy. That'll be that which would get to the diddy.diddy on the time in which this is posted. I'm contacted by the right credentials and then not made a fool of, and I bless it. I give it now all. Peace. No time delay, but I'm going to prepare myself best I know how to do that with the diligence of that rock. I give it. I bless it. I give it all back to thy rock for giving me that. I live it. Peace beyond division. But I see the dragon of Komodo looking closer and closer at me as the nose is flaring up its breath. Breathe that dragon thy way. Show me thy way, thy dragon will always be thy way. The lion says, I am on thy way, I will see thy king, and not at no broad way, but when I see you, when you come over to Africa to heal and give me thy way. I bless it, I give it to you now, King of all, King of kingdom. Take it and use it, and then bring forth those trumpets that blare on those elephants. I swear, better have every bit of the ivory I've been looking for, or I will be irie when I get there. Because if they don't have those magnificent, thunderous, and absolutely controlled valves for the wind and earth in which I move, those are the most sensitive, earth-bound, radioactive, and anything that you would like to even know about. So sensitive. Those horns on the front of those animals, I promise, if those horns are not ado on those elephants, and I mean every damn one of them given back to thy face, whatever you must do, you better believe they better be in place, because those are the ones who control your weather and movement of the curvature of your earth. They are the ones that are more like meteorologists, but no, they are the ones who predict thy weather. They are the ones who move it all. They're the ones who control the lightning and that strikes. They are big tusk because they are Tuscany of this tusk, and they are made of only the best. That piece around thy neck that you hold right now, and you sit there, Jade of Jamak and Duke, I will be there as soon as my eyes get cleared of my own way. That is the only thing I can say. The precious blood of what I give you, Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saint. There is no Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saint. I am the rock and the foundation. I tell you, those elephants are absolutely the beginning of your revolution that turns, no turn, but yes, the world's hand around while you have had climatic weather and everything else that's flooding, and every bit of why it is not allowing to drive the herds, of which is not only in the Serengetis, but all around the world in a judicial atmosphere. The kingdom of God speaks out now. Don't bear that rod, I will spare no way. Every one of those elephants, including the ones here in the zoo locked up, will get their day. Will it be take one home, or take their friend home day, to teach them where they are absolutely from, and they still miss their families, and they feel incarcerated just like I did down in Anderson County. Animals truly are the ones that speak, and they truly are the ones who are running and have willed no more the land in which I command, because of the fact that in time you have 450 million years of instinct. Who the hell are you to come around to tell them when to have a baby? They have adjusted themselves because of the earth in which we scourged and urge. With the greed that never feeds and the spare that never rods, that I give, I break it. That curse. Teach your fellow man how not to ever do that for you again. Beginning finally, for the final time, I'm going to make this. It only takes 30 days for the oceans to renew itself